We're going to do more work with linear equations, and we are going to work with consecutive integers. This is a very common question on the Regents exams. First of all, do you know what consecutive integers are? If I started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are consecutive integers, anything that are next to each other. They could ask us about consecutive even integers. Well, that would mean start with any even number. I'm going to start with 10. And then consecutive would be right in order, going up by 2's. And not only do we have consecutive even integers, but we have consecutive odd integers. So I'll start at 15, and I could go backwards, and all of these are consecutive. So of course, since we're doing algebra, we want to represent all possibilities of consecutive even integers, consecutive odd integers, or just consecutive integers. So instead of a specific number, you would write x. And then what would be the next consecutive integer? Well, let's look here. 2 is one more than 1. So this would be x plus 1. How does 3 compare to 1? It's 2 more. So that must mean start with my first consecutive integer and add 2. And then I think you get what's going on. And then that would be x plus 3. And then 5 is 4 away, so x plus 4. And this is how we represent consecutive integers. Now consecutive even integers, kind of the same way. We're going to start with x to represent any even integer. And then notice the next consecutive even integer away from 10 was 12. It was 2 away. So we represent that by x plus 2. 14 was 4 away from 10, so x plus 4. X plus 6, etc., as far as we want to go. Because even numbers are 2 away from each other. But here's the funny thing. So are odd consecutive integers. They are 2 away from each other. And that's what confuses most kids. Because we're using 2 and 4 and 6, and they see the word odd, but we're using 2, 4, 6 down here, which are even, this is the one that they most often mess up. So as we can see, consecutive even integers and consecutive odd integers have the same setup. All right, so now that we know the setup, let's practice them in some word problems. All right, word problems. What did I say to do? Oh, read word by word, cross off what we know. Say we have 2 consecutive integers. Okay, consecutive integers. Not odd, not even, just consecutive. So x is the first consecutive integer. And then consecutive means the very next one, which means I'm going to add 1 onto that to get the second consecutive integer. All right, so we have these two whose sum, oh, so they want me to add these together. All right, so they want me to take the first one and add onto it the second one is equals 11 less than, oh, there's that word, than. We don't do 11 minus, we actually do the flip. We're taking 11 away from, well, what are we taking 11 away from? 3 times the smaller integer. Which one of these is smaller? That's right, the first one. So they want me to do 3 times the smaller. All right, so now we just have an algebra problem to solve. 2x plus 1 equals 3x minus 11. I'm going to move my 2x to the other side. So that comes over as a minus 2x. And I'm going to move the 11 negative over to this side. So that comes over as a plus 11. So now when I clean everything up, 11 plus 1 is 12. 3x minus 2x is x. So I think my answers are, now remember there's two answers because it said we have two consecutive integers. So I found the first one to be 12, and then 12 plus 1 leaves me to my next answer of 13. So let's check this. I'm gonna erase my crossing out here so I can check myself versus the words. Whose sum, all right, so they want me to take 12 and 13 and add them together. What about their sum? That sum is 11 less than 3 times the smaller. Well, 12 is the smaller. 12 times 3 is 36. 25. Yep, it checks. All right. I'm thinking of 3 consecutive odd integers. All right, so odd integers. We always start off with let x being the first consecutive, and this time odd, integer. But since they're odd, that means odd numbers are 2 away from each other. So the next one has to be x plus 2. And then the next one has to be 2 more than x plus 2, so that's x plus 4. That's my third consecutive odd integer. All right. Cross all that out because I got all that under control. Now, what do they want me to do with these 3 numbers? When I add the larger 2, okay, so I'm going to add the larger 2. Well, my larger 2 are x plus 2 and x plus 4. Those are the 2 bigger ones. The result is 9 less, there's that than again, 9 less than, so I've got to flip it. It's not 9 minus, no. It's minus 9. What am I minusing 9 from? 3 times the smallest. Okay, well the smallest is x, so that's 3x. Okay, let's see. Combine like terms over here. We get 2x plus 6 equals 3x minus 9. All right, I'm going to move things around. I'm going to move this 2x by inverse operations to the other side. And I'm going to move this minus 9 over here as plussing. So I get 15 equals x. So I think my answers are x is 15. 15 plus 2 says my next one is 17. 15 plus 4 says my next one is 19. So that's what I think my numbers are. Let's do a check. when I add the larger 2, all right, when I add the larger 2, so that means I'm going to take 17 and 19 and add them together, and I'm going to get 36. The result is 9 less than 3 times the smallest of them. 9 less than 3 times, okay, the smallest is 15. Well, 3 times 15 is 45. 45 minus 9 is 36. It checks. All right, do one more. The sum of 4 consecutive integers. Okay, once again, it's not even, it's not odd, it's just regular integers. So we got let x, one more, the next one is 2 more of the original, and there's my 4th one. Yeah, sometimes it takes forever to write these let statements, but they're really worth it. It keeps your mind set and in order because you know you have to answer all 4 of them. Well, this is not that bad. It just wants me to sum up these 4 consecutive integers. All right, so x plus 1 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 3, and that should get me negative 18. Right. Combine like terms. 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. All right, so now I'm going to take my 6. I'm going to move it to the other side by doing an inverse operation. I'm left with 4x equals, well, negative 18 minus 6 is negative 24. So this is simply asking me 4 times what gets me negative 24. Careful, negative 6. So my first consecutive integer was negative 6. Careful now, when I add 1 onto negative 6, I get negative 5, not negative 7. When I add 2 onto my x, 2 onto negative 6 is negative 4. And when I add 3 onto that x, I get negative 3. All right, so they're saying when I take these, if I do a check here, when I take these numbers and add them together, I should get, voila, negative 18. Okay, guys, see you tomorrow.